right? Being on fire, enduring the tribulations
During the
that they put you
tribulation.
through. Is that your reputation with the Heavenly Father? And if it is, guess what? The elect, if it is, then the elect are good. You're good.
Mhm.
You're good in thick of trouble.
Con.
But if it isn't, well, guess what? You still have time to make sure that it is, because we're still up here day in and day out. But very soon we won't be. And when the
Con.
Most High takes his prophets off the internet and off the streets,
Mhm.
that's it. He's not hearing no plea, no cry, no
Mhm.
nothing. Okay. So
Beautiful.
this is the time that we need that we have right now, and we went into it yesterday. Seek while he may be found. Okay. Develop your relationship with the Heavenly Father and His Son.
Beautiful. That's it, man.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Let me finish the verse. The last one is beautiful because it says Psalms 33 and 22, the final verse, it says, let your unfailing love surround us. You see? So brother just broke it down, simply put. That relationship
Mhm.
together, right? And that word love there, we know it's one of the gifts, right?
Mhm.
Essence. But but that gift is our power that goes with his reputation. So it says, let our unfailing love, let your unfailing love surrounds us, right? Or that's going to be a protection, right? Isaiah
Yeah.
33 and 6 was quoted for those in the know, and it says, the Lord, for our hope is in you alone.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Sorry.
That's it. Because we know who's bringing it.
Mhm.
We know who's doing all this. So where else is our hope going to be? It can't be in ourselves. It can't be in man. It can't be in Egypt. It can't be in guns. It has to be in the Lord, because it's the Lord who's bringing it.
Yep.
That's right.
Bring the judgment. Uh,
Okay. So
I
got
got
a
a
couple
quick
clips.
tip about question.
Yeah, Con, of
Yeah,
course.
Con, let me go this because we're going into the Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Second Ezra 7. I'll read 42 and 43, and it reads, he answered me and say, this present life is not the end, where much glory do abide, wherefore have they prayed for the weak. Here's the point, verse 43. But the day of doom should be the end of this time,
Ooh.
and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein
Wow.
corruption is past. So only this for the elect, right?
Beautiful.
And the
Yeah.
corruption is Esau, because he's like a cancer.
Yep. That's right. That's right. That's a beautiful precept. Don. So this clip here, I got a couple clips. This is from Jason, and fair use, fair use, fair use. None of the channels on this panel are using this, making money off of this video. This is just for educational purposes only. So fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay. As you see, Trump preparing for a big event in America. So let's go ahead and play and see what's going on.
Black Hawk moved in just in the last few minutes from the Border Patrol, landing at that Homeland Security office on the Paramount side, right next to the Home Depot, and they are unloading this huge helicopter with, just boxes and boxes, dozens of boxes of ammunition, less lethal weaponry. You see these tanks with flammable labels on the side, one after another, an entire shipment, as if they were getting ready for some kind of a major battle. It really has to be said, this is a remarkable sight in the middle of a suburban street here, where they are just unloading all of these weapons, carts full of boxes and flammable weaponry. So you can see that it just made its own parking spot there in the parking lot of that Homeland Security office on the other side of the river, where all of this is taking place, and just a few blocks from that Home Depot and right across the freeway from where that car fire was, just a few blocks away, and the protesters and sheriff department had been squaring off. But this site here, at the Homeland Security office of these federal officials unloading dozens of boxes of weapons and ammunition, is just quite a sight to behold here. Something I really don't recall ever seeing here. Guys, back to you.
Look, we're going to continue doing our job. And yesterday we had 118 arrests. I was out here yesterday to kick off this operation. And what people aren't talking about is I served, several warrants yesterday. These were criminal warrants. This is a criminal investigation. And today we're continuing operations. They're not going to shut us down. We're out there right now doing operations. We're going to keep doing operations. We brought in more resources to push back the protesters. But I'll say it again, a serious warning. You can protest all you want. You got your First Amendment rights. Well, if you cross that line of impediment, or you put hands on officers, destroy property, you will be prosecuted. There's zero tolerance. on crossing that lines, and that's what we're standing by. We're bringing more resources as we speak. We have more resources tonight. We're going to continue doing the job that American people voted Donald Trump in office to do, and we're not going to apologize for doing it.
Now to that breaking news with more ICE protests happening in Lower Manhattan, this time after an 11th grader was taken into custody by ICE agents when he shows up to an asylum hearing. He's at least the second New York City public school student detained since the start of the Trump administration. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini live in Foley Square tonight with the latest. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey, Richard, I'm going to zoom into the area now. Our photojournalist pushing in. You can see now it's pretty clear out here. Just a short time ago, police and protesters were flashing right here. The NYPD confirms several people have been taken into custody. We shot video as demonstrations here at Federal Plaza got out of control.
Steve, what's the situation like right now? We do understand the National Guard has now been put into place.
Yeah, National Guard is on the ground. Images are unmistakable. Of course, the armored vehicles, the sort of desert camo. He's started to see them sort of set up in the area that we believe is kind of that federal complex downtown where a lot of the detentions for these sweeping ICE raids have been taken.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you make, Robert, because the California governor, Gavin Newsom, posted on X saying the federal government is taking over the California National Guard, and that'll only escalate tensions. But can the federal government and the president take over a state's National Guard under Title 10? And what exactly, briefly, is Title 10?
Title 10 simply governs the National Guard troops. So when the president takes over the National Guard unit, he is elevating those troops from being state-level National Guard to being federally activated, and therefore the federal government pays them. They're under the command of the federal government. Now that's usually used for overseas deployment. If you're going to take troops from California and deploy them to the Middle East, for example, you'll do that under Title 10. He would have to raise up to using the Insurrection Act of 1807 as an exception to the Posse Comitatus Act of 1876 in order to use those federal troops in a law enforcement function. And that is something which is so rare in America. So, and if we're saying that this is what's going to happen if you protest against the Trump administration, then truly we are losing our democratic values. That is what you will see in almost any autocratic country, the use of federal law enforcement against the local will in order to put down speech.
At least 45 people were arrested last night, while DHS says that more than 118 illegals were apprehended this week. The protester tried to storm into an ICE facility last night after being fired.
Remind you, really, this whole ICE thing is really Esau versus Jake, in particular, northern tribers, right? Northern tribe, because who are they mostly rounding up? Right, Latinos, and Mexicans, and all Puerto Ricans, so on and so forth. All the Latin tribers, right? So this goes into that. Who shall rouse them up? Because he's starting with Ephraim, but watch, he's gonna come after you so-called Negroes as well. All right, so-called Negroes, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. He's coming because ultimately these devils, their plan is to get rid of Jake. Okay, let me get a precept. Let's go to Psalms 83. We always bring this out because this is the ultimate plan for the top wicked elite. And I got it in the NLT, so let's see how it goes. Psalms 83:1, a song of Psalms of Asaph. O Yahweh, do not be silent, do not be deaf, do not be quiet, O Yahweh. About Hashem Yahushai. Don't you hear the uproar of your enemies? Don't you see that your arrogant enemies are rising up? As we're watching, they're rising up, right? Esau is rising up. It says they devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against right? So that's the elect. The precious ones is the elect. Your people is Israel. Okay. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. We will destroy the very memory of its existence. Okay. Yes, this was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as allies against you. Right? If you want to know what that treaty is, look at the UN, United Nations. All those nations. There's not one Jake on the seat of the United Nations. And if he looks like a Jake, he's most likely, he's most likely a heathen. But they don't got no actual Jake on the seat because, again, the plan goes back to wiping out the Israelites because they understand the top wicked elites of these various nations, starting with Esau, Edom, all the way down. They know the history of King David and when we were ruling and what we did to them. They don't want to be in captivity under us. So their thought is let's wipe them out. Let's get rid of them completely. And this is nothing new because they try to do it during Egypt. right? Ancient Egypt, they were doing the same thing. Pharaoh did the same thing, right? He tried to kill all the Israelite boys, okay? And you had the same thing with Herod, right? Herod did the same thing in Rome. He killed a bunch of Israelites, bunch of Israelite babies, trying to get rid of Yahushua. So throughout prophecy and history, there's always been a scheme or an attack on the Israelites, and nothing's new today. They're just now it's disguised as the ice, right? Ice, and you know what's funny? As we're gonna get into the clips, you have people dressing up with uniforms as ICE, and they're not even part of ICE. Just regular somebody who just want to get rid of you, Jakes. You see what I'm saying? So it's brewing. Hate is brewing, man. And this is all the doing of the Heavenly Father and His Son.
That's right.
I'll read verse 5. It says, yes, this was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as allies against you, these Edomites and Ishmaelites, Moabites, Hagarites, Gebulites, Ammonites, Amalek, and people from Philistia and Tyre. Assyria has joined them too, and is allied with the descendants of Lot. Do to them as you did to the Midianites, and as you did to Syria and Jabin and Kishon River at the Kishon River. They were destroyed at Endor, and their decaying corpse fertilized the soil. Damn. Let their mighty nobles die as Oreb, Zeeb did. Let all their princes die like Zebah and Zalmunna. Or they said, let us seize for our own use these pasture lands of Yahweh. And then they always bring out that a place is a people before it's a place. So that pasture land goes into the nation of Israel, the Israelites. Okay, and of course they've also taken the land of Israel as well, and have done whatever they want with it, completely defiled it. Terrifying them with tempests. That's basically it on that. Continue on a little bit more here.
On by radical speakers at a rally. Listen.
Going on here.
Listen.
Continue fighting until we reconstruct every single institution on the ground up so that we can grant full amnesty for all immigrants, demand full compensation for all of the victims of this criminal injustice system. This is organizing and not just organizing.
And these are all northern tribers, man. You see, you got Judah over there, you know. Okay, so we're gonna jump from that clip to this clip, and this is from the Hopeful Elect 3. All right, and I'm just going to speed it up.
Chris, what happened here today in Los Angeles, I think, is the worst nightmare for so many people who live here. You know, Los Angeles is a largely so-called minority-majority city. There are just as many people of color here as there are white people. In fact, 10% of the population of Los Angeles County, which is one of the largest counties, the largest by population in the United States, is undocumented. There could be as many as 1 million undocumented people who live here in Los Angeles. And what you saw today, and what all of these people are protesting, is large-scale immigration enforcement raids. What you're looking at on the left-hand side of your screen is this protest.
Look at the title. It says, the time of Jacob's trouble is near. Northern kingdom first, southern kingdom the worst. Yep.
Sky, the helicopter's directly above me. I'm sorry for the noise, but you saw tactical officers on things like Bearcat vehicles, flashbang grenades on the city streets of Los Angeles, which largely felt like, as some people described in local media, that the military was on the streets of Los Angeles. Historically, the Los Angeles Police Department does not cooperate with immigration enforcement efforts. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department does not cooperate with immigration enforcement efforts. When you have got ICE in Los Angeles showing up reportedly at Home Depot, where many undocumented people go to get work as day laborers, you know the National Day Labor Organizing Network well. Many of those people responded in the wake of the fires here in Los Angeles.
And you remember, your brothers remember, and it was 2020, you had the BLM movements, right? The BLM protesting throughout the summer, right? Now, this is like an upgraded version of that. It's even worse than the BLM movements or protesting. And here we are coming into the summer. So it's not a coincidence, man.
Showing up outside of places like schools, it quite literally is striking fear into the heart of people all throughout this community. And it is, I think it's fair to say, the worst fear of so many people here who live in Los Angeles and who have heard President Trump threaten that they would do this. But when this day comes on a Friday morning that stretches into a Friday afternoon, people in Los Angeles are mobilizing and they are very upset. The fucking loser!
What the heck? If you do keep the sound, you guys can't hear anything, can you?
No.
No, it's mute. It's no
I don't know
sound.
why the sound keeps cutting out. Probably Esau. Weird. When I was watching it, it wasn't like this. Definitely Esau, man. Well, those of you at home, bear with us because hey, there's only so much we can do.
All these people attacking them in. What flag did they make? Where did they come in? What day? I'm sure they're back.
Let me bring this out. Baba Shah. Psalms 55. I'm going to go, excuse me, Psalms 55. All right. And today I'm going to read it from the NLT. Psalms 55. I'm going to read just 3 verses. Did you find it yet? 55 and 21. I'll start at I'll start at verse 19 real quick. Psalms 55 and 19, reading to the 21st verse from the NLT. It says, our power, God here, but Yehovah Hashem Yoshai has ruled forever. Will hear me and humble them. For my enemies refuse to change their ways. They do not fear our power, Yehovah Hashem Yoshai. Verse 20, Psalm 65 and 20.
Yep. And I gotta say this: those enemies are really talking about you, Jakes, because we know the Esau Edom, he can't change his way. He's created to be the wicked. But you, Jakes, that scoffed. A lot of you, Jakes, that are being rounded up by the ICE. You scoffed at the men of the Lord.
That's right.
A lot of you scoffed at the men of the Lord. Do you know how many camps are out there in LA? They have a huge camp out in LA. Okay, a lot of you scoffed at the men of the Lord, didn't take heed to the message, and now the Lord is bringing judgment upon you, man.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
Go ahead.
They walk by the camp with a hissing with their head. They say bywords. They shake their head. You know? Yeah.
That's right. That's the spirit of Esau from our people. Yep.
Yeah.
Reading on Psalms 55:20. It goes definitely with 19. It says, as for my companion, he betrayed his friends and broke his promises. So we know again the spirit of Esau. But yeah, 2/3 of our people are like this. We've made covenant with death. Okay.
Well, hey, your own family members. You consider your family members, companions, friends, people you know in the world. Guess what? Don't marvel if you get betrayed by family members, people you know in the world, and also brothers in the truth. I'm not saying this to, we all love each other sincerely, but hey, you got crept in unawares.
That's true.
You got crept in unawares. So our companions do not be dismayed if we're betrayed by the very people that we're on the front lines with, man. This is gonna get real deep. It's gonna get real signal. Sing is gonna get real linear between you and the Lord. That's it. You're gonna have nobody but you and Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Psalms 55 and 21 to the point. Final verse. It says, "His words are as smooth as butter, but war is in his heart. His words are as a soothing lotion." Right? Going into that oil again. That filthy oil, that dirty oil. But underneath are daggers. So, I brought it out based on the earlier part of the first video as well, with his protest and what he's going to do against the tribes. Okay. Northern and Southern Kingdom, we saw this, Northern Kingdom being harassed mostly. But yeah, underneath that is the men of the Lord. Okay, first and foremost. Okay, that he's okay. Go ahead.
Remember the original idea of ICE was to get rid of criminals, right? Now they're showing up. Now they're showing up. So now they're showing. Everybody was like, okay, that's good. You got a bunch of gangs here, right? You got a bunch of gangs in America and LA, even in Canada. You got a bunch of gangs here. But now you see them showing up at schools. They're taking away children. They're showing up to your house. It's not the front was gangs, but really the truth is they want to get rid of you Israelites. They want to get rid of all you Jakes from America. So guess what? His words are smoother than butter. As smooth as butter. But in his heart was war. And now you're seeing his horns. This devil is showing his horns. Like the dragon. Okay, as it says, his words are as soothing as lotion, because a lot of you northern tribes, you voted for this for Trump. A lot of you guys got up on stage voting for him, saying Trump is going to make America great again. You believe his bullshit, and now you're getting rounded up. Your families are being torn apart. Children are being taken away from their kids, and you're being sent off to really concentration camps. You're being sent off to jail. Asylums. Okay.
Can I bring this back question once it's done?
Malak, are you done with this?
Yeah, that's it. That's it for now. I just want to emphasize that warlike beast. Yeah, subtle.
Good. Going into the topic. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 15, and I start at 14, and it reads, "Woe to the world, and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and the swords in their hands." What we see in those videos, It said, verse 16, "For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions should stand in their power." So these people are going to come to a place where they don't give 2F. That's why Trump sent the National Guard over there. Right? Things are getting out of hand right now.
Exactly. Yep.
That's what leads into the civil unrest and the what's it called? So when the civilians are fighting against each other. What do you call that again?
Yeah, civil unrest.
Yeah, civil unrest and civil war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because the civil unrest is ICE. ICE is is not letting you guys rest. Right? They're causing civil unrest. That's why these people are protesting. But like Ashar brought out, eventually these people are not going to. These protesting are just the beginning. Eventually, these people are going to start attacking, right, and start actually arming themselves with weapons, and you're gonna see a full out civil war in America.
Right. That's right.
And in Canada, it's coming here too.
Yep.
Okay. And it's gonna blow out. I think it will blow out in other parts of the world as well.
Yeah, because we have that guy Mark Carney, what's pushing all these new agenda, like a new plan too, right? To yeah, he has a plan for the people as well. So it's gonna bring mass civil unrest here as well. A lot of things are
Well, he
gonna
said that.
go
Yeah,
crazy.
he
It's
said
gonna be nuts.
he said that there's. Yeah, he said that there's a bunch of cartel gangs here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Canada is filled with a bunch of cartel
Yep.
gangs, especially Ontario.
So he said that $10,000 you can't purchase nothing from any businesses if you have anything over $10,000. That all has to go through. It has to be monetized basically through his
Yeah,
way.
$10,000 cash. You can only have $10,000 cash on you.
Yeah.
Which is a small step towards the MOTB.
Yeah. If I may say, there was a video I saw where there was an American who is born in America, and he got a letter from the bank saying in order for him to withdraw the money, he has to go back to the bank and show proof, like your birth certificate, right? So not sure if it's real or fake, but it's gonna come to a point where Esau has the power to do that, and people in America, if you don't have the documents, Esau is gonna take the money and then book you, and then do what he has to do. But that is letting you know that, like the apostle would say, the MOTB is here and it's gonna be implemented some way or another. He just waiting for something to come down to this place and set him up.
That's right. Yep, and that's a good point, because Esau already has the power to do these things. He's just showing his horns now.
Yeah.
Right. These devils, because of this truth, they're coming. They know they have a little time. They see the prophets out there, the men of the Lord bringing out the truth, so they know they have a little time. So guess what? Now he's showing his horns. That's why he's going to your schools. He's taking your children from you, right? ICE is taking your children from you. I'm going to work job sites. You know, while you're in the, mid building a house, take you right off the job site and put you in the truck and take you to the to the asylum. I forgot where they're transporting a lot of these guys. Where are they transporting them again? Is it Nicaragua?
Oh no, Salvador.
El Salvador, the water. They're transferring all these guys to El Salvador, right? To detention camps, basically.
Yeah.
Concentration camp.
This devil is showing his horns, man. It's about to get real crazy. Then you got this other devil, Haman Malone, out there, basically as an agent, moving like an agent. We believe he's an agent. He's most likely set up as an agent, and getting getting government names of brothers. So this devil's coming down, man. He's coming down. That's it on that, Doc?
Yeah, that was it on that one.
Yeah. We'll probably come back to this because it's loaded, but let's continue on with this clip here. I don't know why this.
Hey everyone, I'm here getting out of work and I'm just looking at all the chaos that happened here in LA. We had ICE in downtown. We had ICE at the courts today, just picking up people all over the place at Home Depot. It's really hard to think that tonight, there's going to be a bunch of kids missing their mom or their dad, their brother, their cousins. Someone got picked up. They didn't get picked up. They were kidnapped. We have these cowards that are working for the government, wearing masks, how they are. Doesn't hide that you're a coward. You don't work for the president by himself. Your duty and your job is to uphold the Constitution. And just remember, there were Nazis that tried to use that as a defense and said that they were just following orders. That does not excuse what you're doing. You're a coward. These people that you're picking up, they're not criminals. Just because the president and certain people continue to dehumanize our people, they're not criminals. They're honest, law-abiding, hardworking people that are contributing to our society. For my people.
Not only that, they build up the society, and they were here. We were here before them. Ultimately, Esau is the immigrant. You Edomites are the immigrants.
Yep.
But the Lord is giving you the world, and He's giving you power to administer judgment upon 2/3 of Israel. Okay. and they really upon all of Israel, but the elect are gonna there's gonna be a hedge around the elect.
People
That's right.
that are out there, don't come out. Let's continue our boycott. Stop spending money when you don't have to. Let's hurt them where it hurts them the most, in their pockets. Let them feel it. They don't want us here. Okay, you don't want us here. We're not going to spend money. Know your rights. If you can, carry the little red cards. Okay, a lot of people have been messaging me, and I've been sending them to you, digital, through email, or I've met a couple of people so I can give them the cards. It's very important that you know your rights. Don't answer any questions. Don't sign anything, and speak up. If you're someone that can speak up for other people. Your silence. There's a lot of people out there that are silent. Your silence is betrayal. You need to be speaking up for the people that don't have a voice. Right now, I'm working very closely with the city. I've met a lot of police officers. In a lot of the meetings, when I've talked to them, they told us that they do not get involved. They don't get involved with ICE. They don't help them out. They don't provide any buildings to them. But today, I saw a lot of videos where LAPD was there. I'm just wondering, what were they doing there? Did they lie? I don't know. Hopefully, they come out with a statement and tell us what were they doing there. MAGA, making America great again. Doesn't sound like MAGA. Sounds more like MAWA, making America white again. That's what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
And right now they're going after Brown. No one's safe. Okay. There's a lot of immigrants that thought they were safe. They voted for him, and there's certain groups that now they're feeling the pain. Okay. So again, we need to.
And this is not new, man. Israel's always been known for choosing the heathens over the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
You choose this devil over the truth. It's not like you all these people being rounded up. I know they came across the truth. All right. The Lord said this truth will be preached across the four corners of the earth. You guys chose the heathen, and now you're being taken. You're being separated from your children. You're being taken into a different country. You don't know if you'll ever see your family again. This is your judgment. This is the anger of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, man. And the prophets, starting the apostles, and the bishops on down, have been prophesying about this for decades, and you didn't want to listen. So now now you're gonna have to face the judgment.
You know,
brother had a precept. I think, Barnema, you said you had a precept.
No, I was gonna just bring out, like, this happened. No, not to say this happened, but back in 2,000 years ago, when we're in Egypt, this is the same thing. When our people rised up over the Egyptians and they're getting big, the Pharaoh, he wanted to destroy us, man, and said, "Come, let us put them into slavery, into subjection, and get rid of them, because they're growing too much." I was gonna bring up that account because you brought it up earlier. You're talking about it earlier, but this what this guy's saying sounds like it's just hitting me to bring it out, right? But we don't have to. But I'm gonna bring it out real quick. This is Exodus 1 verse 9. It says, "And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us." Right? Yep. That's the point. "And so get them up out of the land." Right? So that's what they're doing. They're getting us out. They're getting Ephraim. They're starting at the house, get them out. "Therefore they did set over themselves," Salakia, them taskmasters, "to afflict them with their burdens, and they built Pharaoh treasure cities and Patmos and Ramses." But the whole point was that's what they're doing, man. They're trying to get ISIS to go after Jake and get them out, man.
Let me read this for you in NLT. NLT says, Exodus 1 and 9, it says, he said to his people, "Look, the Pharaoh, the people of Israel now outnumber us and are stronger than we are." So this is the same counsel and conversation that Trump and all the Edomites up there in America are having. Okay, we must make that's right. We must make a plan to keep them from growing even more. And as the guy said, It's not about MAGA, but Mawa, make America white again, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not white. They really should make America. And they didn't. And America was never Edom. It was never white. It was always Jake that was here before
That's right.
these Edomites.
That's right.
So it says if we don't, and if war breaks out, they will join our enemies to fight against us. Then they will escape from the country. And that was the thing is that they didn't want us during the time of Egypt to join with their enemies, as it says, and ally with them and take them down.
That's right.
Now in America, ultimately they're sick and tired of Jake. You know, Trump is the beacon of every Edomite's emotion. You know, we're sick and tired of you Israelites. We don't want you here. We want you out. And we want to make America just white, so-called white. They're not white. They're translucent, and they're actually Edomites. Let's go back here.
That's right. Straight history and prophecy to this day is exactly what was just read and broken down. Straight.
That's right.
Do not go out if you don't have to. Don't spend unnecessary money. Okay.
You lack so much compassion.
Now we have to have each other's back. Sad moments we're living right now.
How can you lack so much compassion? What if your mom, your dad, was immediately just taken from you as a white person, as anyone? How can you just accept that?
Because they're fucking Edomites. Edomites. See, our people. What's that scripture? Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Let's get that.
Yeah, beautiful.
These people, man. Like, you don't listen, and then when all hell breaks loose, you want to complain.
Yeah.
How many times we gotta tell you this is your fucking enemy? Excuse my French. This thing got me a little hot.
Never trust
Hosea. Let's go. Black of.
People are destroyed.
You don't, and it's not even that you lack the knowledge. You lack the knowledge because you reject it, not because it's not there. We're here.
Right.
We're constantly out here teaching the truth, as it says here. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed, as you're being destroyed and wiped out right now, being separated from your families, right? For lack of knowledge, because you reject the truth.
That's right.
Because thou has see, there you go. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I also will reject thee.
That's right. Get you out the way.
Thou should, yeah. Go ahead, Ak. You gonna say something?
No, I'm saying no. Get you out the way, man. The Most High is not gonna deal with you. He's gonna reject you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Destroy you. Get you out the way, man.
Yeah. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Yep.
Thou should be no priest unto me. And a lot of you rebellious Israelites, what you did? What did you do? You constantly were talking shit to the prophets, as if you're some kind of priest, as if you know what's going on, as if you know the scriptures. So because of your pride, the Most High is rejecting you in your time of trouble, right? Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Ooh. Isn't that what's happening with these people? They're being separated from their children. Let's listen to this woman.
This is not, bro. This is so unreal. And how can people just lack compassion? How? Why can't you just imagine yourself just waking up one day with your family not there anymore? So LA businesses are getting raided by ICE, or some people that are wearing stuff that says ICE on it with their faces all covered up. People are getting ran over. Shots are being literally fired, literally. And this is supposed to be life right now. We're not going to get treated like humans because they don't see us like humans. They lack compassion. How can you lack compassion? How? I understand that you're trying to get criminals out. Why are you going to workplaces where people are just trying to work? That doesn't make sense. He has no right. You guys are fucking stupid. You cannot do this. He has a family. Leave him alone.
So you see these people? They're basically saying that a lot of people are dressing up as ICE, but they're not actually a part of ICE, and they're using ICE as an excuse to basically put hell on you, Jakes.
See?
You see, and hey, that's gonna get Jake to be like, yo, Anybody roll up in my house, I got that for them. You know. So it's gonna get. Jake's not gonna sit down. This is that prophecy. Who shall rouse him up?
Who shall rise him up?
This is gonna exactly. This is gonna get them. You know, get them going.
Can I bring this precept back, Kusha?
Go ahead, brother. Ooh.
Go ahead, Doc. You're good.
Oh yeah. This is Proverbs 1 instead of 22. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorn is the lie, and the scorning and fools the knowledge. What you just read in the book of Hosea, right?
That's right.
Verse 23. Turn you on my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refuse. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. We always in the highways and byways, you know, and this word is being preaching all over the world in different languages. So there's no excuse. Verse 24. Because I have called and you refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set a knot on my counsel and will not on my reproof. I'll also laugh at your calamities. I will mock you when your fear cometh.
That's right, man.
That's right.
That's right, man.
Yeah. And I got a precept. I got something.
Hold on. Let him finish.
No, that was the point. That was the point.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Yeah. This is for when they come up, and they can't say that they never got the truth. They can't say anything, right? Like, like they basically what's happening to them is because they mock the Most High. They scoff at the Lord and His prophets. You know, so the Most High is jacking their asses up. So why have mercy on? Why show that compassion for you if you're not taking in the Most High when you were supposed to be a priesthood unto the Lord?
Yeah,
you know,
taking heed, right?
Taking heed.
Counsel.
That's right.
Right, the counsel is supposed to set you up to have understanding as to what to do when these times come, because these times are coming.
That's right. I'm gonna bring this quick precept out real quick. This is Lamentation chapter 2, verse 15, and it says, "All who pass by jeer at you. They scoff and insult beautiful Jerusalem, saying, 'Is this the city called the most beautiful in all the world and joy of all the earth?' All your enemies mock you. They scoff and snarl and say, 'We have destroyed her at last. We have long waited for this day, and it is finally here.'" Right?
Right.
I'm not gonna go into it no more, but you know, this is what your enemies are doing, man, and this is what our people follow after our enemies to mock at Israel.
Yep.
On the highways and byways, all these people, these pork chop eating Jake, you know. Yeah. So why have mercy on them, you know? Anyways.
Yep. Done.
ICE is out here only going after the bad guys, right? But let me tell y'all something that I saw that proves all of that straight bullshit. Last night I ran into two of my old partners from high school. Both these guys are immigrants. One's from Samoa, one's from Tonga. Both these guys just got out of prison with some real charges too, man. I'm talking kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, gang enhancements. They're both validated gang members pretty much. You would think ICE would be all over them, right? No, y'all. They are actually walking free. ICE ain't knocking on no parole offices. They're not camping outside of jails. They're not at your local prison. They're not at your local probation department. You know where they're at? Construction sites, farmlands, restaurants, places where only hard-working immigrants are.
That's right.
That's right.
Because they hate you.
That's right.
Insane. So we're gonna jump from here to here. This is from Grand Supreme News. All right, fair use, fair use. We're not making money from this video, just for educational purposes only. All right. As it says, June 14th, ground flights. Go ahead and play this.
Now, do me a favor and share this video Once again, thank you so much for your support. Millions of pounds of military hardware are expected to roll down the U.S. Capitol street in less than 2 weeks, fulfilling a dream of U.S. President Donald, but also sparking concerns about how the roads of D.C. will fare under the literal weight of heavy tanks and fighting vehicles. Not only that, but we have this breaking news that's coming out. Donald's birthday bash will ground flights at Reagan Airport in DC. All right, so here's another thing too, guys. Large gathering. All right, that's a big warning alert. All right, so you have Baltazar Tom said that, well, he said that he's very concerned and very scared because there's a possibility we might see a 2001 event. I'm not saying it's going to happen here. Baltazar Tom was just saying since Joe allowed millions to come into our country, we could see a 2001 event, which he's absolutely right. 100%, he's absolutely right. Now, again, when it comes to events like this, large gathering, that's when sleepers and enemies strikes. All right, and this
Yep.
area is going to be packed. And
Mhm.
according to experts, we're talking about tanks. I mean, a lot of weight. And can DC handle all that weight? All right, so we're gonna see what's going on here, guys. And remember, again, remember this: we stuff vehicles and tanks were meant for battlefield, not the DC region. All right, so we're gonna
Yeah, what these people don't understand is DC and the rest of America is going to be a battlefield. That's why they're bringing them all in there. Okay. And you're right. You know, Trump is going to celebrate his birthday, 79th birthday, with a military parade. So we're going to see. We're going to see, man. That's a perfect situation for a psyop. Now, I'm going to skip from there and get to his next video. It says incoming martial law. Major info just dropped. And this is the mayor of, I think, LA, if I'm not mistaken, but he'll bring it out.
Maxine Waters is on scene in Los Angeles. She says the commander in chief is going to implement martial law. So we have a big breaking news coming out. Maxine Waters is on scene in Los Angeles. She says the commander in chief is going to implement martial law and start a civil war. Now, once again, this is coming out from Maxine Waters. We're going to play this video. We do have more breaking news updates. I want to show you really quick here. Los Angeles mayor, well, she's sounding the alarm here. She said that commander in chief, National Guard deployment puts our community at risk. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters of prayer, 19 number 2 is up. Let's see what's going on here. And again, National Guard has been deployed, 2,000 National Guard. And you have the Secretary of Defense, Pete, said that possibly the Marines might be deployed too. So we see, again, we're going to see how all this plays out today. All right, let me play this video.
Organization as a way to enhance his position. We're all going to fight to have that country to be a country. It's outrageous, it is horrible, and we've got to make sure that we do everything that we possibly can. Because I think he's up to creating martial law. Even what the National Guard. What do you think of the National Guard being here, Trump deploying them and not our own governor? Well, the thing about it is, I don't know why they're here with guns. Who are they going to shoot and for what? Are you going to shoot a kid running away just because they're afraid of them? Are you going to shoot a protester just don't like what they say? Are you why the guns? Why are these guns here? That's my question. I don't get why the guns have to this. We're a sanctuary city. We know Trump doesn't like us. We know that he's trying to use us as an example. He's going to try to go until that he has a martial law. He even alluded to civil war at one point. Probably opposition.
Okay, so that was Maxine Water. She mentioned the name martial law not once but twice. She said that Donna is trying to implement martial law, leading us to civil war. So we're gonna get to all this news here, guys. Give me a second. Once again, this is all these information will be on my Twitter page. If you guys want to check out the video, please pray for them. Most importantly, please pray for the National Guard. Whoops. Here we go. So the mayor of Los Angeles, Aaron, said this morning the commander-in-chief deployed the National Guard into Los Angeles. Deploying federalized troops on the heels of these raids is a chaotic escalation. Now, the reason why the commander-in-chief activated the National Guards is because you have certain groups out there that have become lawless, and they were throwing objects, they were throwing stuff at the law enforcement, and so it just became a situation that's.
And believe this, remember, you have agent provocateurs. So it only takes one agent provocateur to maybe have a gun and shoot a law enforcement, and that's gonna blow shit up. You see, and it could be a northern triber that's paid.
Yep.
Hey, go do this, or Edomite,
Or Edomite.
even that
It's not
looks like
particular
or
Edomite.
a tear. That
Mhm.
well, the reason why I'm saying a northern triber is because it's better to make it the face of Jake, right? That does something like this. So if it's a northern triber, it could be someone who's a terror but looks like a northern tribe, you know. And all he has to do is pull out a gap and shoot one of these officers, and it's gonna go crazy.
That's
So
right.
we're gonna watch, man.
And you know,
We're gonna
you
watch what's
notice
gonna happen June 14th.
you notice is mostly Jake speaking up about what's going on. You don't see the Edomites coming out and blowing these events. What's happening is mostly our people who are feeling it the most.
Yep.
You know, it's
That,
Jake feeling it.
You'll have those Edomites that because the prophecy said they'll seek to the poor, right?
Mhm.
Before they're with
To please the poor, right?
Remember
Seek
BLM.
to please
Remember
the
the
poor.
BLM. Remember the BLM movement,
Mhm.
right? You had a bunch of Edomites that were standing up for Jake too,
Fine.
right?
Fine.
So you're gonna see the same thing this time, but this is gonna be way
Mhm.
worse.
Mhm.
You know. Now,
Oh,
I'm gonna get this here, Isaiah 19:1. Okay, so it says here, this message came to me concerning Egypt. Look, the Lord Yahweh is advancing against Egypt, riding on a swift cloud. The idols of and that's the chariots. The idols of Egypt tremble, the hearts of the Egyptian melt with fear. This is the main point here. It says, this is the verse 1 is really at the coming of Yahushua. Okay. But verse 2, it says, I will make Egyptian fight against Egyptian, brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, city against city, province against province. Right? So there's going to be a great division within America and other various parts of the earth, but mainly America. The Egyptian will lose heart, and I will confuse their plans. They will plead with their idols for wisdom and call on spirits, mediums, and those who consult spirits of the dead. A lot of these politicians, they're into that. Okay. All these politicians are into that. And in that time, they're not going to hear any answers from the demons that they've been dealing with, right? Which leads to that prophecy in Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, where it says they will not regard their kings nor princes. Right? In the movie Purge, it's always the politicians, right, and the CEOs that have to have their houses like 3 times barricaded because they're the ones that are going to be after. Okay. It says the Egyptian will lose heart, and I will confuse their plans. They will plead and with their idols for wisdom and call on their spirits mediums and those who consult the spirits of the dead. I will hand Egypt over to a hard, a cruel master. This is what you see happen. A fierce king will rule them. The Lord Yahweh, the Lord of heaven's armies, and we believe that Donald Trump. Okay.
Yep.
The waters of the Nile will fail to rise, and the flood and flood the fields. The riverbed will be parched and dry. And in ancient Egypt, the Nile River was very important for what's it called, agriculture, farming, right, work. So prophetically, now you're going to have no jobs out.
Yep.
It's going to be a complete fail in the economy and society. I'm gonna skip down. Let me skip down. Or actually, I'll continue reading. It says, the canals of the Nile will dry up. The streams of Egypt will stink with rotten reeds and rushes. All the greenery along the riverbank and all the corpse along the river will dry up and blow away. The fishermen will lament for lack of work, right? Those who cast hooks into the Nile will groan, and those who use nets will lose heart. So no work. Okay.
Time to come.
That's right. There will be no flax for the harvester, nor thread for the weaver. There they will be in despair, and all the workers will be sick at heart. Crazy.
That sounds like Ecclesiastes and 12 and 1 coming down, man.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. The only way they're going to learn righteousness is when judgment comes. When the Lord brings it.
I gotta keep this that one shit down.
A couple more verses. This is verse 15. It says, "There is nothing Egypt can do. All are helpless. The head and the tail.
Yep.
The leader and the followers." Okay. The noble palm branch and the lowly reed. So even these politicians are going to be bugging out. You know.
Yeah.
It says, in that day, the Egyptians will be as weak as women. They will cower in fear beneath the upraised fist of the Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies.
Beautiful.
Right?
I just want to comment on that. That's powerful stuff there. It proves that the Egyptians, the leaders, right? They're effeminate. Okay, they have an effeminate spirit, right? We're in Sodom again, spiritually, which is called Egypt and Sodom. So yes, they'll be as weak as women. A bunch of that's who you guys are. That's what the scripture says. So fair use.
Yep. And this is going to happen. Verse 16 is going to happen at the arrival of our Lord Yahushua. Okay. When they see him come with the host of heaven, as it says, the Lord of heaven's armies, they're going to be completely afraid. Verse 19 or verse 17, it says, "Just to speak the name of Israel will terrorize them, for the Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies has laid his plans against them."
Can I comment on that real quick? We always take encouragement to this because it's a spiritual, powerful statement. We're in the highways, and certain people don't know who we are, and certain people do. And for the people who don't know who we are and start talking shit, the persons who know what we are will say, "Hey, listen, don't mess with those guys."
That's right.
It's going into the reputation of the spirit of prophecy that's on them that the Lord has put, man. So you people don't know what you're messing with.
That's right.
So yeah, the Lord of armies is in control.
Just like back in the days when they used to get the Babylon, the boy them 5-0 to come up against us.
That's right.
And the Most High would have just diffused everything and get the boy them to lock those guys up. You know?
That's right.
Because what's going on is bigger than them.
Yeah, it's bigger than everybody. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's it on that. Go ahead, sir.
Oh yeah. This is the book of Jeremiah 11 and 14. And it reads, "Therefore, pray no thou for these people." We ain't praying for them. I mean, this truth has been out there for years. Right? You take no heed on this. Right. Neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. We ain't praying for you. We only pray for the elect. "For I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for the trouble." Like the other said, because trouble. This is the time. But also, literally, this is going into, when you read verse 13, it goes into other idols. "And you treat Esau like an idol, more than the Holy Father." You put too much trust in this man, right? Because he's giving you this luxury type of lifestyle, this dream in this society.
That's right.
And that dream is fake. It ain't real.
That's right. Exactly.
Just talk.
It's an illusion.
That's right. Jacob's realizing that dream is really a nightmare.
Yeah, that was it.
I got a quick precept to back you up. This is Proverbs 1 and 26. It says, "So I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when your disaster overtakes you." That's it.
Good.
Yeah, that's a double. It came out earlier. So that's a double onto you.
That's right.
I want to get this here. It's gonna be my last precept. This is Ezekiel 7. right? And it says the coming end. So let me just get down to. Let me go 6. Okay. So Ezekiel 7 and 6 in NLT. Okay, it reads. The end has come. It has finally arrived. Your final doom is waiting. O people of Israel, the day of your destruction is dawning. Shit.
Yep.
Right? The Israel is talking about, it's not, does not include the elect. Okay? So it's just, that's just the 2/3. The time has come. The day of trouble is near. Shouts of anguish will be heard on the mountains, not shouts of joy.
That's right.
Soon I will pour out my fury on you and unleash my anger against you. I will call you to account for all your detestable sins. I will turn my eyes away from you and from away and show no pity. I will repay you for all your detestable sins. Then you will know that it is I, the Lord Yahweh, who is striking the blow.
That's right.
Okay.
Those uppercuts, those punches. You won't say. You're putting the judgment on your people, man, on the world.
That's right. On you Israelites. Hence why this is called Jacob's trouble. Okay.
Yep.
It says the day of judgment is here. Your destruction awaits. Your people, the people's wickedness and pride has blossomed to a full flower. Their violence has grown into. Yeah, go ahead.
That means it's on high, man. That means it's there's nothing more. It's all blossom. It's all blooming. It's all it came out already. The flowers shining pretty. So all the wickedness has gone up to the heavens. That's right. It's time to destroy it now.
It says, verse 11, their violence has grown into a rod that will beat them for their wickedness. And this is just the beginning stages of that, as what we're seeing with ICE and the northern tribe. It's just the beginning stages. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And Judah, Benjamin, and Levi are going to get involved. Okay, and they're going to come upon the men of the Lord. Okay, but guess what? The difference between the elect and 2/3 of Israel is that there's going to be a standard. The Lord is going to have His mercy upon the elect, even though we'll be tried, right, with the eye of mercy upon us. Yahweh is above the elect, but 2/3 of Israel are going to be tried with the eye of judgment on them.
That's right. The eye of judgment. Ooh.
So it says their violence has grown into a rod that will beat them for their wickedness. None of these proud and wicked people will survive. All their wealth and prestige will be swept away. Yes, the time has come. The day is here. Buyers should not rejoice over bargainings, nor sellers grieve over losses, for all of them will fall under my terrible anger. Even if the merchants survive, they will never return to their business. That's right, because they'll be sent off to where's that place again? Slack it, brother. Where's that place again?
El Salvador.
El Salvador. Right? You'll be sent off to concentration camps, detention camps. It says, for what Yahweh Hashem Shai has said applies to everyone. It will not be changed. Not one person whose life is twisted by sin will recover. So if your life, so this is why I said earlier, this is our time, this grace period that we have, to not allow our life to be twisted by sin. Because if it is, guess what? The Lord is going to allow that, as I read earlier, He's going to allow our wickedness, all right, to judge us for our wickedness. Right? You're going to reap what you sow.
That's right.
So what are you sowing? Are you sowing obedience and the fear of the Lord, or are you sowing disobedience and into the flesh? Because that's what all these northern tribes were doing. And this is why the Lord is doing what He's doing to them. Let's sit on that.
I got a scripture.
Let's sit on that.
I got a precept. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. And it says, I'll read it in the NLT, it says, for the time has come for judgment, and it must begin with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's household. And if judgment begins with us, what terrible fate awaits those who have never obeyed Yahweh, but Shimi Hoshai, good news.
Wow. Yeah. That starts with us. So like us as teachers that knows the truth, man. That's serious. That's serious. Beautiful. Any other lasting precepts?
I just want to comment on a powerful statement you made and that wonderful precept that just came out real quick, because you asked the question, what are you doing? And this is what it's all about, right? And I remember you were having a conversation with me one time and you mentioned you're only as righteous as you're only in righteousness on that day. Turn tomorrow. Right, and the scriptures declare that. I'm not going to go there. The book of Ezekiel talks about it, right? And so this is the question for us individually, so that when we come collectively, we understand what we're involved with. And that question, last point, what are you doing? It's personal. Right. Not where you're going. What are you doing?
Right.
Because sanctification is the work of a lifetime that the Lord is doing. So he's always asking the question, my son, what are you doing? You might be sleeping, or you might be going off, and you hear the voice, what are you doing?
So, you're right. What are you doing, and what are you not doing?
That's right. Food for thought.
Food for thought.
That's it.
That's it.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll leave it at that, brother.
Beautiful, man. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and straightforward to the hopeful elect. You know, like I always just ended up saying, and that piece that the Banami brought out. You know, we got to, like you said, we got to think about what we're doing. You know, the judgment's going to start at the house, at this household, nation of Israel, and starting with the teachers, right? So, with that, we're going to close. All right, Lord willing, again, this lesson was straightforward and edifying to the hopeful elect. We're going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Ruchakadash. All right, double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000. All right, and the rest of you that sincerely believe. Ababa Ball, Kwama Shabala, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Stay strong, man.
Stay strong. That's it. So we have